Real Talk with Artie and Juan. You hear that? We're being recorded. We're live, buddy. We're live,
All right,
being
here we go.
recorded on Zoom.
Now, where's it being shown on your? Do you get to
It's going to be
save
showing
this?
all over, man. All over the airwaves, dude. Come on. What are you looking at? Are you looking at yourself?
No, I'm looking at the television.
What are you seeing? What's going on television?
Don't worry about the television.
Come
So what's
on, you
going
tell me
on?
what's going on. Are you playing video games, aren't you? You bastard. What's that?
No,
What
it's
is
a
that?
remote.
For what, dude? That looks like it's from the 1980s, dude.
No, it's for the fan. So what's going
It's
on,
for the
man? Talk
fan,
about
not
your
for, it's
show.
not for the fan. Come on, man.
Stop.
What are you talking about?
What's going on? This is your show. What's
This
up?
is your show. This is the Real Talk, Artie and Juan, man. This is
Okay.
your show. Come on. We're both the hosts.
So annoying. Enough with the shtick. So anyway,
What kind of
what's
stick?
going on? Enough with the shtick.
Shtick? Is
So did you look at the news about how Trump lost and how he's already
Trump
starting to?
lost? What are you
Forget
talking
it.
about,
I don't want to
dude?
do this show anymore. I'm done.
Trump lost. What are you talking about? No, yeah, I saw it, man. It is what it is.
Yeah,
I
what's your
mean,
thoughts about that?
what I think about Trump losing? I mean,
Or just the whole process.
well, the process wasn't very it didn't seem like it was very legit to me,
Hmm.
based on the Iowa caucus, and then Super Tuesday looked a little fishy too. So
I think the one that they were talking about is they had one of the poll watchers and then they had him like 100 feet away from when they were doing the counting or something.
yeah.
And I was just like, you know what? If Trump starts complaining that it's like, oh, it's fraud, and I'm like, dude, you're not one of the most honest people either. I mean, you're a piece of shit. You do whatever you can to like. He messed up the postal. He was trying to, fuck with
Well,
that.
well, what was it?
He did.
How did he mess up the postal? I
He
never
took
heard
out
of
all
it.
the sorting machines. He was defunding it. He was just trying to make it where the ballots can't get delivered. You
Well,
know.
that was a postmaster. Well, that makes sense. I mean,
Who
there
was
was,
appointed by him? It was
yeah.
appointed by Trump. Enough. It's
Well, I mean, you get these positions. It's like Trump's not going to be micromanaging the
he
postmaster
knows who he
general.
puts in. He tells them, "Hey, you better work for me if I get you this job." Let's just cut the bullshit. Trump's not a. He just got beaten fair, in his own game, and now he doesn't like it. He got all butt hurt.
Well,
You know.
I don't know if it's that simple. I mean, I don't even care about Trump winning or losing. I don't give a flying shit,
Hmm.
because I think it really doesn't matter who's president to a certain extent. But I mean, it just looked a little weird to me,
Well,
and
whatever.
then it
It's
seemed a little
over.
weird because it's like they stopped counting at like 1 o'clock in the morning or something like that.
No,
Or
they're still counting them. But
no,
here's the
but
thing:
they
the
they stopped
electoral.
recording them.
No, once it reaches 270, that's it. But they're still continuing to count it because the last time I checked on the electoral results,
Yeah,
it was at 284. And at first I had to do a double take. I'm like, holy shit. So Biden won.
yeah,
And then
that's
later, 2 hours later, they're still counting them. It's at 290. So they're still counting him, but he's already won. It's almost to the point where it's more like a big fuck you to him. And I think what they're doing is they're counting all all the ballots. They're not just like, okay, we're
well.
done. We got
Look what
the
happened
winner.
in Wisconsin with the 130,000 votes that was Trump's, and then all of a sudden they pushed a button on the voting machines. It was like 6,000 a pop or something like that, and it came out to 130,000, and it switched it to Biden. Remember that? He was 130,000 or 140,000 up at like 1:30 on election night, and then the next morning, all of a sudden, 130,000 votes came up.
Who owns those voting machines?
Well, that's the thing. I heard
Is it Mitt Romney? Maybe Mitt Romney wanted to fuck him over and say,
it's
"Go
some
fuck yourself."
company. It's some like company. God knows who fucking owns it.
Yeah,
You
Mitt
know.
Romney owns those electoral. But you know what? You're gonna see what's gonna happen is December is gonna be where everybody's gonna be throwing everybody under the bus. Because now some of these Republicans, they're not like obligated to help this guy. Because before, when you go against Trump, you're pretty much damaging your career because of this cocksucker. He's gonna be like, "Oh, don't support him because he doesn't support me." And you're gonna see a lot of people start coming out of the woodworks, attacking Trump, bringing up everything to light. I think it happened with Nixon. I mean, Nixon, he didn't go to his second term, and then all of a sudden they started arresting everybody.
Yeah.
And once you're president, the best thing that Trump can do is pull what Nixon did, is resign, and Pence becomes president just for a month, and then he pardons him. So that way he's exonerated. But the problem is
But it
that
wasn't Trump. Trump had nothing to do with election issues.
no, there's other things that he's done
I
bad
know
that he's under investigation,
that was kind
but
of
they put it on
before he was
hold.
president. A lot of those, like raping the 14-year-old or whatever he did.
No,
Uh,
well, maybe so, but there's another one where there's a CIA investigation, but they paused it because they
yeah.
know if they go forward, he's just gonna keep firing doing whatever he can. But now that, and plus, when Biden comes in, there's gonna be a new director. He's getting rid of all those cronies that were like, Trump appointees and all those people.
Yeah.
So they're gonna clean house big time.
Well, obviously they're gonna, once Biden gets in there with the transition team, they're gonna get a no whole new administration. They're not gonna keep Trump guys. I mean, they're
Plus,
gonna.
Trump is about to go broke because he is so much in debt, and plus there's fraud and there's taxes. The man, if he never even ran for president, he wouldn't be under the radar, or they just wouldn't care about him. But if they can't get him one way, they're gonna get him the other way. And it was like, I remember when Capone, when I read up about him, he was like, they couldn't touch him. He was just backwards and forwards. But the problem was, when it came to his taxes, that was the only way they could have incarcerated him. They were like, "Oh, he was lying up his ass. Boom, we got him." And the same
Yeah.
thing with Trump. Trump has too many questionable, like,
He's
he
not. He's not. I mean, how are you going to remember that hotel he built in New York, or he did a remodel on it? No one wanted to give him funding for it, and then all of a sudden, he got funding. I mean, he had to deal with the Russians at that
I
point.
heard about that too.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm
that's
not
kind
an
of
expert,
that's probably when
but
he started first dealing with Russians at that
oh,
point.
I
But
think he's dealt with the Russians for a very long time, from what I understand, because in his
well,
hotel.
this was a long time ago with this hotel thing. No one wanted to give him any money to
Mhm.
remodel it or whatever. But Biden's not exactly a clean guy either. You know what I mean?
Nobody is, but
Yeah,
you still have to respect a fucking a thin line, right? You can't
yeah,
just be like fucking people over. I mean, people are like, okay, if he gets rich, you have to share the wealth in some weird way, or you just don't screw over other people. But Trump, he's his own worst enemy.
I mean, the thing is, he's done a lot of good things, Trump, and that's why a lot of people like him. Like the lowering the drug costs, and uh, I guess he gave a lot of money to not a lot of money, but the black colleges would have to apply for federal money every year. I guess he gave it to them for every 10 years is when they got to file
Right,
for.
but here's the fucking thing: is the man's racist. He's racist as
He's
fuck.
not racist though,
Yes,
dude.
he's totally racist.
Where do you
Or
get
he
that from?
panders. When you tell the Proud Boys to stand down instead of like
What do you mean
denouncing
in
them?
the presidential debate?
Yeah.
They asked him if he
He's
was racist, and he said no.
no, he says, "Oh, you want me to denounce him? Okay, I'll denounce him." But then he goes, okay, Proud Boys, stand down and stand
But I
by."
mean, okay, I understand what you're saying, but look at Biden. I mean, I don't know who the poor boys are. You know what I mean? Do you know poor boys?
I'm one of the poor boys. He's
Well,
representing my crew, dude.
Biden
What
was
you?
talking about the poor
It
boys.
sounds like I'm gonna be
And
honest. It sounds like you were really rooting for Trump.
I maybe a little bit. I have to.
Yeah,
I mean, not. I'm just rooting for. I don't like Biden. Honestly, I hate Biden. I think he's corrupt as shit. And I was rooting actually for Howie Hawkins' Green Party. That's who
to
I
be
voted for.
honest, I don't like how the Democratic Party it's crooked anyway because you could just come here in Illinois and you could just see how Manigan how we lost a lot of seats because of him because he made those deals with ComEd,
Yeah.
got a lot of kickbacks. They got him on he's like, oh, I didn't do anything, but I'm like, you're the only one who could approve these things, dude. It's not your people. Man up. But it's in his best interest. He can't admit to it because then he'll go to jail or something. But it's like,
Oh,
dude, just they're probably giving you a free ticket. Like, look, just step down and we
is he
won't
supposed
do
to
anything
step
to you.
down for speaker?
He doesn't want to. He says he didn't do
Yeah.
anything wrong. And it's like,
He'll never step down, dude. He has to be dead.
he's a piece of shit because
Well,
if you
there,
see that you're
Pelosi's
ruining
going to
your
get kicked
party,
out.
you think
Pelosi's done. They
she's an
already been.
idiot too.
They lost a lot of seats because the way they.
Yeah.
I don't even know,
It's
man.
it's one of those trades, man. It's like if you want to, you can't have a complete house of just Democrats. It just doesn't work that way.
Yeah,
And not all Republicans are bad either.
but let
That's
me
that.
ask you a question seriously. If you're watching these elections, did it seem to me? It seemed like something was going on. Did you get that feeling?
It was already going on even when Bernie was like running, and you could tell that they gave him the shaft because they can't control him. And Bernie's not a bad person. He just doesn't want to go with the whole bullshit that Democrats are.
Yeah,
Democrats are pretty much like the mob. They keep quiet about what they do. Um, Trump would have been a great president if no, he's still a bad president, but he wouldn't be on the radar if he would just kept his fucking mouth shut. But he
yeah.
can't help himself. He just keeps talking crazy shit. And then when you call him out on it, he lies. And they keep track of it. But if he would have just kept his mouth shut, we would have just gone through the 4 years of, but he's a narcissist. He loves the limelight. He loves to be on television. I mean, every goddamn day on the news,
I
it's Trump
guess.
this, Trump that, Trump this, Trump this.
I mean, he's been in the
Enough.
news. I'm so sick of it. Tell you the truth, I'm so sick of Trump news. But I guess he was on the Howard Stern show. He
When?
would call in all the time. Did you hear about this? I saw some clips of it. It was pretty funny, man. Howard would just know how to set him off, and he would just like start just going nuts on the Howard Stern show.
Well, they use each other. And
Yeah,
I mean, someone told me, um, like, people only say they're about this because they just want the votes. And yeah, Trump, you want the votes, but it costed you your face and like your brand name, man. I mean, now you're gonna have to go back to being a civilian, and you want
he's
to
gonna have to
business.
change his name to Smith or some shit when he
You
gets
want to
out.
go back to doing businesses, but the problem is most of these people who work for Trump, they're fucked now politically because now they can't go and all their lives they've been working in politics, and now from what I understand, they're like trying to put their resumes out, and no one wants to hire them because they're already tainted with Trump. They're like, hey, sorry, dude, you're
Yeah,
you're done, you're fucked. You know,
that's what the Trump name does. I mean, just there's a lot. I don't know, man. I really don't care. But it was like a flashback to when I ran with all the kind of the corruption bullshit.
yeah.
And I couldn't sleep because I saw this and it was like it looked so not on the up and up. And
Like you want to like it makes you disgusted that you're like, oh, I don't want to be in this fucking Democratic Party because it's bullshit here. And then
yeah,
if you go, well, I might as well switch to Republican because I can't go to a Green Party or whatever party because they're a joke. No one
yeah,
fucking cares about them. It's like the world's closed minded to two fucking parties, but in reality, there's more parties, and they should. But,
Well, the
you
Green
know,
Party, I mean, they just
the
don't
Green
have a
Party,
lot of they don't have a lot of money, and they have, I think, not the strongest candidates, even though that the Howie Hawkins, the guy that ran for president, the thing is, this is the way he talked in the interviews and stuff like that. He just, I don't know, it wasn't as strong as like a polished politician like Biden. I don't know. Did you see any interviews with him?
you kind of glitched there for me.
Yeah, whatever. It doesn't
No,
matter.
you know what? That guy is under the radar, you know?
So what's going on
And to be
besides that?
honest, I
Yeah.
mean, if Jesse Ventura, if he would have ran for president, I would have gone for him,
Oh
you
fuck
know?
yeah, dude.
I would
I
go
would
for
have,
libertarians.
I would. I mean, my first choice was Bernie, obviously, and then I would have went for Jesse. Jesse's an independent, but he probably would have ran as a probably independent because he
Libertarian.
no, he hates the Libertarian Party.
He
Libertarian
hates
Party
him
is
now
like
because he ran as a libertarian the last for his governorship, right?
no, he ran as a independent. He was like the only
Oh, okay.
independent governor in Minnesota history. Um,
So I mean, I like Jesse Ventura because I've seen him like being interviewed by a lot of people, and he knows his shit backwards and forwards. Where you're like, what the fuck? And he even schools the reporters because sometimes they try to put him on the spot, and then he corrects them, and then he belittles them, saying, "This is your job. You're supposed to know this stuff. I'm I'm running, but I know your job, and you haven't even done the full research. Like this guy is a walking encyclopedia of everything. This guy is
well,
like
I don't know if
he
I
is.
when I heard he might run, I watched his debate when he was governor, when he was in the governor debate back in the 80s,
Mhm.
whenever he won. He was, I mean, because he was going against some polished politicians, you know. He just
Oh yeah,
shredded it, dude. He was he was on
he
it, you know. That
no
was
he that guy is like a genius,
that was when he was still like,
you
you know,
know.
still looked
But
like a wrestler too. He
maybe
was pretty
if he
big back
does
then.
run,
What happened there?
yeah. I
Uh,
mean, I like Jesse Ventura. I mean, if Biden doesn't work out, I hope he runs, you know, but you never know who might. And then what about Kanye? What was he on the ballot from what I
he
understand, or
was
they just write him in?
like I think like 6 or 7 states, but he didn't win at all.
Of course he's not gonna win. That guy's a buffoon, man. He's a fucking idiot. Him and Ice Cube. Ice Cube's another moron. It's a bunch of sellouts.
You
God,
think,
this guy.
well, what else is going on besides this fucking election?
Well, you know what? I mean, I think around 9 o'clock, this is when Biden comes out, right?
Oh, he's coming out at 9?
Yeah, he's trying to tone it down, I think. He's probably like, I mean, I'm gonna be really honest with you. I feel like an amount of stress has like been alleviated right now.
Yeah, it's definitely, now we know what's going to happen next. Well, there's always the Trump factor. You never know what's going to happen. Um,
It's coming to an end. I mean,
I mean,
he had his run. He'll probably do a reality show. You're following this guy, you know.
there was 20, I guess, in American history, 27 contested elections, and only 3 got overturned. So when Trump goes to court on Monday and all next week, the
They all got thrown out. The only one that he's trying to go with is Pennsylvania, and I don't know. That's probably why they're still counting the votes. So even if they overturn some of the decisions there, they're gonna be like, dude, he's way
well,
ahead of
they're
you.
going to recount. They're doing a recount, I guess,
They do
in
that automatically anyway, the
oh,
recounts.
not all the time, only if you're in like a percent. He's under a
No,
percent.
in this one, they are doing a recount because they already anticipated this asshole from the get-go. They're not
Yeah.
stupid.
Well,
They're not dumb.
Pennsylvania, I mean, I guess Wisconsin, and Michigan are doing a recount according to
They
state
can do it all
law.
they want.
Yeah, they have to do one automatic, I
This
believe.
guy is just gonna, he's very scared because now no one's gonna have his back for him when he's done because they're gonna go after him. That's why he's doing whatever he can to like he's in a sinking ship and it's like the Titanic. He's done. But
Yeah.
he's gonna do whatever he can because now when you're no longer president, you're fucked. No one's protecting you anymore. That's the bottom line.
I think Trump's in his bed with no pants on right now with his
Hmm?
phone. I think Trump's in his bed right now with no pants on with his phone, just looking at shit online, most likely.
He's got that idiot Giuliani,
Probably
another
is wearing
piece of
his, he's
shit.
probably wearing a tie and a dress shirt with no pants.
I mean, that's it for him. So anyway, what you been doing besides whatever?
I've been not sleeping, dude. This has been killing me, man.
I took a nap and I actually genuinely enjoyed myself. I was just like, oh my God. Because I went out to go get some food and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna eat some steak. Maybe a celebration steak. And I was like, yay,
Nice.
Biden.
I had a
So,
big ass breakfast this morning, man. I went out.
and I bought a beer too. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna drink this beer because we won. And then I just took a fucking massive nap and I was just like, oh, and I felt like all the stress is gone. I mean, I could feel the neighborhood, or maybe I'm just looking too much into it, but the neighborhood seems more calmer. Everybody, when I was at Jewel, everybody was kind of polite to each other, nicer to each other.
Was,
So,
was people wearing masks?
oh yeah, they were wearing masks. There was one guy, he didn't want to wear his mask, but everybody seemed to be like, fuck him. It didn't even
Yeah,
it didn't bother them. They were just like,
fuck
eh,
it. We had enough of
Biden
masks.
won. We're good. You know,
Well, I saw
As long as I'm wearing my mask, I'm good. So,
they were downtown in front of Trump Tower, I guess, doing a
oh
little
yeah,
marchy
doing the middle
march.
finger, everybody. I
Yeah.
mean, if this guy would just, he went on Twitter every goddamn day and you were egging on everybody. I mean, what do you thought was going to happen? Everybody's going to resent you. And then when you want to be fair, everybody's like, you were never fair from the get-go. You were always like trying to get rid of Obamacare, care, the DACA, kids in the cages. I mean,
Well, he
what the
was,
fuck?
yeah, I mean, it seemed like that, but Obamacare is a pile of shit, man.
Well, yeah, because you have the Republicans, and that was the best one he can come up with. Republicans are always going to fight. When something's like benefits the actual voters, Republicans don't look out for them. I've never seen them
Well,
go, you know what, we got to do something for everybody here. No, they go, oh no, we can't. You have McConnell,
well, the first year I
Mitch
was on
McConnell.
Obamacare, it was like 200 a month, and then all of a sudden they fucking jacked it to 480.
Yeah.
Because that's what it was written in Obamacare that way. It's just,
Well, then
that's not
reform it.
fucking good, man.
But here's the thing: if you're gonna get rid of Obamacare, then come up with something better. He didn't have anything, and from what I understand, what he had was the same thing as Obamacare, and you're like, what?
I don't know that much about the details, but it's hard to say if you don't know all the information. But yeah,
It was a big ass book. It was about
they're
the
always like
size of.
that.
It
The
was like
laws are like
ridiculous.
insane.
It was like a huge fucking like an unbridged dictionary. Like every word in the English language is in there, and it's about a foot thick. That's how big the book that he was trying to bring out. And then when they finally got the lawyers and everybody to look it over, they were like, "This is basically Obamacare. You just changed the name." And he's like, "No, no, it's good." And you're like, "It's Obamacare, man. You know what? He's always lived in Obama's shadow, and he hated it.
Well,
It's a tough act to follow, I guess."
I don't know about that, but so when you went to the store, people were like just happy and being nice and shit.
There was like a tremendous stress just lifted. The tension was not there anymore. You could tell when people were under distress.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm going to be honest with you. If it wasn't for COVID, or these police shooting protestings, Trump would have won, hands down.
Well,
But but because of the COVID, because of all the protests, the way he handled it, that was it. And like I said, Trump is his own worst enemy. He does not give a shit for people. He cares about himself. That's so evident. He uses people, he throws them under the bus. I mean, what was he talking about? Trying to fire Fauci? Dr. Fauci, saying, "Oh,
yeah. I don't even
and
know
what
I don't know that information.
and the guy, all he's trying to warn us is the coronavirus. It's a real thing. It's like, dude, it's a real disease. I mean, we have to be careful. He hated hearing it. And Trump's, and then they have him on audio where he talks to a reporter saying, "Oh yeah, this is a very deadly disease." But then when you go do your rallies, you're like, "Oh no, the Democrats came up with a hoax. It's a hoax. It's just the flu. It'll go away, the hot air or the heat and all this." That's the problem with him, is that he lies all the time. "Oh, I didn't say that." Yeah, you did, dude. And then
This
you're
is supposed
talking
to be
about
a
somebody.
comedy show. What's it?
I
I mean,
mean,
this is heavy
you talk
shit, man.
about somebody with dementia. What do you have? Because you say you never had it, and what's wrong with you, man? Compulsive liar. We need somebody we can trust. President doesn't act like this.
I mean,
That's it.
Biden, I
And
don't
then
know.
all his dumb hillbilly people, they're just.
Well, 70,000 people voted for Trump.
Biden's not a great person either, but you know what? It's the lesser of evils. And 75, I think it's in the millions.
What for what? For what?
No, you're saying 75,000?
No, 70
What are you
million
reading?
people 70 million people voted for Trump and 74 million voted for Biden as far as
Yeah.
what it yeah. So I mean,
Hmm.
like a lot of people like Trump. That's just, it's
But
not like he's a lone soldier out there. You know what I mean?
right.
So you want to talk about something
But
funny?
it's
Because
over. And
this is
he's
making me
just
depressed.
what's making you
It's
depressed?
just the whole it's like kind of stressful because, just pointing fingers and all that shit. You know what I mean? It's like Trump sucked. He's a fucking asshole. Biden's totally out of his rocker. And, but Biden will just, the best thing about Biden is he's not going to be in the news every fucking 2 minutes. He's going to
No.
be down low because he's got to, do his meds and all that shit. And he won't be out there that much, which would be good because I don't want to see politics play by play. And that's the problem. Trump has been doing play by play at the very beginning. And like, who wants to see
Oh
that
my
shit?
God.
It's like,
How many rallies did that man have on a consistent basis?
I mean, he just the very end, the last week, he was on a fucking rampage with rallies, man. He was doing 3, 4 a day, man.
A president doesn't do rallies. A president goes and does his job and he's doing his work. This guy kept doing rallies every fucking so often. He loved the people loving him, He loved it. He was like, he
Well, it's
got
a nice
addicted to
feeling,
him. He
man.
was like a wrestler. I
Yeah, he
bet it
was.
is, but you know what? You're hurting the country and you got to do your job.
Who's the guy? Who's the
What was he
famous
doing?
wrestler promoter dude? McMahon or some shit.
Yeah, they're buddies. Yeah,
Yeah,
didn't he ask him an opinion how to reopen the United States? And
I
you're
don't
like,
know.
why are you asking that asshole? You fucking dummy.
I don't
The
know,
fuck's
man.
wrong with you? You don't know, go ask a wrestler promoter. You go ask like your team.
Well, whatever. I don't know.
Oh well,
Anything?
man.
Any funny stories we could talk about? Or is this it? This is all we can talk about is Trump 24/7
Uh,
fucking hours a day. What are you biting on? Is that your pencil dick
Trump
or something?
forever. I get to the
Oh
my
shit!
marker.
Oh, it's your marker. I thought it was your little
Um,
play finger. So, what do you think? Do you think he still has a sexy
yeah.
time with Melania? Can you hear
Oh
me?
man, she doesn't like him. So yeah, I can hear you.
Okay.
You can tell she could tell she hates him, you know.
Well,
But she's a piece of shit.
I think he forces the oral on her. He's like, "You got to do this now. You got to do this
Yeah,
oral before I give my speech."
she does. She's a piece of shit too. I think she was wearing one of that jacket that says "I don't care" when she went to go visit the children or something like that, needy kids, and you're just like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
She was
You
wearing a
know?
jacket that said, "I don't care." It's hilarious.
Yeah, you don't remember that? That's the
I
problem. Everybody sympathizes with Trump, but or Milano or any of these people, but then you go, man, they've done a lot of fucked up things, and that's what happens, you know. And everybody's like, no, he's a good. I'm like, no, he's not a good guy, dude. He could care less about you. He despises poor people a lot, but he
does he
needs the vote. So he's from what I heard, like people who know him, he hates poor people.
really?
He well, look at his face. He looks like he has a rested bitch face. When you talk to him, he's just like, ugh.
Well, he's
You
always
know,
kind of been rich his whole life, so um,
he has no concept what poor people deal with. None of these politicians do, you
oh
know.
yeah.
Well, maybe Maria does, but everybody else, maybe not Biden, Bernie, you know, because he doesn't live in a huge mansion. He lives like in a very like normal looking house, you know.
Well, Bernie collected some money from the races. I'm sure he had a lot of extra money over after the race.
Well, they're able to keep it, right? I mean, that's just the bottom line. After the,
I
you
I
know,
think that if he's still in office, he has to put it in some fund or it's got to be separate. But once he gets out of office, then he could take it. I'm not 100% sure. Every state's a little
because
different.
from what I understand,
I'm losing you here. You just froze up. You're gone. Gone. I don't know if you can hear me or not. There you go. I got you back. I can see your fingers. Yep.
hello?
You're coming back online. What were you saying?
Shit, I forgot. What
Oh
was the last
fuck.
thing you said?
I don't even
What
know
did you say?
anymore. We're talking about
You
Bernie.
dummy.
Talking about
Oh,
Bernie.
Bernie. I don't know. Well, that some of these politicians have no concept of how people need money, you know, like the stimulus checks. McConnell was like, "Oh, well, we're not going to give that much. You know, I think they're okay." I'm like, people aren't working. Do you not understand that? Not everybody's like working their asses off.
Yeah.
So they have no concept of how people live. You know, they're out of touch.
Way out of touch, man. When you have like
And
millions, it's like can't even conceive just having $1,000 in the bank. You know.
right, like they have $1,000 on them to spend on whatever the fuck they feel like it, you know. But
Yeah.
normal people, it takes a
They go to
while for them to save a
Starbucks and
thousand
spend
dollars.
15 bucks on a cup of coffee and then they go out to
Oh
eat.
yeah, totally.
They're probably spending 300, 400, maybe 500 a day, man, just on regular shit.
Yeah, where we're like, whoa, that's fucking ridiculous, you know.
Yeah. So you got any good sticks coming up here? What do you got? Let's hear one of your
Sticks?
sticks. Sticks.
Shtick?
Sticks.
I don't do shtick.
Come on, do one for me.
I don't. You do shtick. You do
I
the
don't
little.
do sticks. You do it, buddy.
No.
You want to do some buddy talk?
Buddy talk. What's buddy talk?
It's just talking about being a buddy. You know what I mean?
Oh. Are you coming out or I don't think everything's closed, dude. You know what I went out yesterday because I was hanging out with my friend and we went to Wicker Park and it turns out people are hanging out at the parks now and
Yeah.
having a mini party there. It's
Yeah.
almost like an outdoor bar. So people come in with their keg, they sit it down, and then they just start acting like they're at a bar.
Fuck yeah, dude.
And I was like this. At first I was like, okay, I'm cool with that, because bars close at 10 now.
Fucking A. Did you hit one of those makeshift bars up?
But
Did you go to one of the bars? Park bars?
well, we were walking around and we were like, because I was hanging out with this girl. So we went through this park, just to walk around and just shoot the shit. And all of a sudden I'm like, why is everybody hanging out here? And it was like they were hanging out just having a bar scene.
Did,
So
fuck
whoever
yeah.
has beer, but the problem is you have to buy your beer before 9 o'clock because then it stops.
Jesus.
And
Did you
I'm
bring a
like,
blankie with you?
no, it was still warm. But I was just like, see, this is what pisses me off about Lori Lightfoot and Prisker. It's like, oh, we're gonna have to do a shutdown. I'm like, people are losing their businesses. I don't know if this is kind of like a form of gentrification where you're forcing people to go out of business because you make them close their businesses and they can't maintain it, and then later when they're gone you start introducing new fucking developers and coming in and take over these businesses that
I
are
think it's a
gone.
little more evil than that, as far as what I've been hearing. They
I bet
want
it is.
to, yeah, they want to have a guaranteed income for everybody so they can control everybody. They want to just kill these businesses. This must just be a conspiracy theory I heard. That
Oh, what they want it back to 1984 just like the book.
yeah,
Okay.
they want to kill all the businesses and then have you on guaranteed income and totally control your life at that point. And they don't pay you very much, so it's just like you just barely just enough money to eat and
Right.
sort of shit. You know,
Eating shit.
eating shit. That's all you get.
Well, you know what, I'm already living that life. I'm barely just getting by, so it's like, oh, okay, there's no big transition for me.
Well, when you went to the park, when did you go to the park? Yesterday?
Oh, we were just going all around Wicker Park, the
Yeah.
neighborhood.
Did you
So
bring a blanket with you?
no, what's with you with the fucking
Well, I
blanket?
thought
Enough
maybe
with
you
the
could,
blanket.
you get a little cuddle session in the park there.
No, we're just walking around, just checking out
Did
what's
you guys
open.
hold hands and be
No, she's
boy?
just my friend.
Yeah, that's never stopped you before.
No, it's just my friend.
Yeah, bullshit, Juan. I know your penis won't fucking put up with it.
No,
That's
I've
why
been
you went
taking it. I've
MIA,
been
dude. Is that why you went
that's
MIA for a while?
well, you know what? I've been taking it easy. I don't rush into relationships and then find out I hate the person or I don't get along with them. So
Where the hell you been, man? Is it because of this girl you've been hanging out with her a lot?
no, it's like the second time I hung out with her.
Yeah.
So no biggie.
You've been on the phone
How
with her
about
though.
you?
What about me?
No. Like, how's your little marriage life going on?
It's very predictable.
Predictable.
It's not bad. I mean, it's a different lifestyle from what I'm used to when back in the day when we'd run around in that fucking pervert van and shit and jump over curbs or whatever we did.
The speed bump that just shook the whole van. Jesus Christ. Didn't that make us like stop for a split second?
That was a crazy. I didn't even see that fucking speed bump, man. It's like, didn't your head hit the top of the
No,
van or
it
something?
it was kind of like one of those moments like you're not in control anymore and you're just going with the shaking. And I was just like, and then
You're like
afterwards
hoping.
you're like, finally you get like a little cognate, thought. You're like, what the hell just happened? I
Were
mean,
you wearing your
wasn't that,
seatbelt? I don't think I was wearing mine when that happened, but
I was wearing my seatbelt. You know
fuck.
that van? I missed that van. That van was actually a reliable van.
It was, well, I don't know if you knew, but the fucking axle blew up on that fucking thing. I had to do it in the parking lot. I had to go buy a new axle for it, and a new rear end actually.
Wait, this is like back in California or here in
No, this was
Chicago?
here in Chicago. I had it parked for, I don't know, like a month, and I had to go buy a new rear end for it. And the rear end blew up on it. Yeah.
You think that car's finally dead or is it
No,
still
I think it's
going?
still going, dude. Actually, I was seeing reviews on that fucking thing. That thing will just keep on driving forever. It's like one of the best
Really?
Fords ever made. Yeah. Yeah.
God, that thing looked like a fucking ice cream truck. It was
I,
just, it was small, but it had so much room that it was just weird. It was like an ice cream truck. It was like, dude, 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 dude. You know
I
what? You should have, now if you had that van, too bad you couldn't paint it as an ice cream truck. Just to have people think like, what
got to
the
make
fuck?
some money and shit.
Is that an ice cream truck? And people come
I
at
actually
your
bought that to drive out, and then we fucking the transmission fucking took a shit in the fucking middle of the desert, man. And we're going up this hill, going to went from San Francisco to L.A. It blew up just in L.A. So uh, we had to tow it to my sister's house, and we ended up getting a U-Haul anyway. So all that down, we got rid of so much shit because we didn't want to take it with us because we want to put everything in the van. That thing was
Mhm.
so fucking loaded down with shit. That van was packed with all my shit. 3 dogs in the front, 2 people. I mean, it was fucking. Anyway, yeah, good times.
Are you ever gonna get a minivan like that ever again, or you're done
No,
with it?
no, I'm never gonna
Really?
buy it. Yeah, I'm done.
Maybe you should get a Ford Transit.
No, I hate those fucking things.
Why?
I don't know. I don't like it. I like what I got now. Honda Element's pretty nice.
Oh yeah. Did you fix everything on it? It's a
It keeps on tripping a code, but I think I clear it out and it goes away for a while. So
they all go away for a while.
I,
Maybe you need to take it to the emissions and or emissions
I
and
just got the emissions done on it. It passed it.
oh it did? But
Yeah,
even the
because
code still keeps coming up?
no, like the code, it's weird. The code does it if I drive it kind of weird, or like push the accelerator in a weird way, like a double pat tap on it. Then it chokes out, and then the code comes up. But
Yeah, but I hate looking at that engine light. Ugh.
I got a
So
scanner, and I just clear it out like when I stop. So what's that noise?
it's my dog.
Oh, it's blocking.
Oh Blackie.
So any funny stories? Because I don't know this. I don't know.
Well, how long have we been talking for?
I have no idea.
It's
I
been
don't
over
have.
an hour.
No, I don't think so. Well, maybe.
Yeah, it's been over an hour. Let's see. It's 9 o'clock, dude.
What time do we start? 8:30, right?
No,
No, we didn't
uh
start at 7 because the computer
seven
was.
thirty. No, let me see. I have to look at the text.
Uh,
Text says, okay, yeah, 8. No, yeah, we've been at it for an hour.
yeah,
Says at 8:03, you said, try it, we're good. Then I said, okay.
yeah.
All right. Well, I think this is a good show for everybody. So
Well,
here
I
we
don't. I
are.
don't know. What do you think? I don't. It's gonna be a lot of editing again. I just fucking hate editing it like that much. It takes
Just
so fucking long.
don't edit it. What's there to edit?
Well, I guess maybe I won't edit it. I'll just cut out this back part right here. Okay. Yeah,
Uh,
maybe I won't
next
edit.
week,
What?
next week I'll look up some I'll write down some funny articles that I see that we'll talk about.
Okay.
Or anybody who watches this, send us a like or subscribe. And also, if you have any questions or things that you want us to get an intake on, let us know at Beef Take or Beef Talk, Beef Tech.
It's not
What's the
beef
name of the
talk.
show?
It's not.
Real
You don't
Talk?
even know the name of your own show. I'm gonna kill you, dude.
I'm reading your screen name. We're known
Yeah,
as
this is it's
Real
called
Talk with Artie and Juan.
Perfect. There you go. All right.
All right. Have a good night, everybody.
Are we
And
done,
stay tuned next
everybody?
week.
We done? Okay. Thanks everybody for
Yeah,
tuning
we're
in.
done. Thanks for tuning in. St. Bat Chime, same bat channel.
Real talk with Artie and Juan.